You're Thinking, and I am your host, Philip Anthony. Thank you all for joining us today. And I hope that you're all feeling fantabulous. Everybody say fantabulous.
Fantabulous.
There you go. Okay. Alrighty. This is our first show.
Live show.
Yes, in a live venue. So thank you all for joining us today. And I'm going to introduce my co-hosts, and then we're going to talk about some things about Pride today. So first of all, let's start with Matt today. Usually I start with Austin, but Matt's doing a double duty today, right, Matt?
Well, probably more than double, but you know what? I'll take all the duties. Oh, now it's getting weird. Never mind. Yes, I'm doing many duties.
Oh, well, double duty meaning that you are on the board of Golden Valley Pride. Let's everybody give a hand to Matt for doing all this great work for Golden Valley Pride.
Not just me. There's so many people, but thank you.
Well, you're going to thank the other people that you know, because
so many.
you're in the in crowd.
Yeah.
So, and also we want to introduce my other co-host, who specializes in Minnesota issues, politics, current events.
Hi, my name is Austin Ballhagen. It's a pleasure to be here.
Austin Ballhagen, yes. Everybody give her a hand, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to hand it over to Matt, since he is the curator here today. What are we going to talk about?
Well, one wonderful thing about being here at Golden Valley Pride is that not only is it a fantastic venue, we have a beautiful day. There have been thousands of people here today. It's been an incredible day. First of all, great weather. Thousands of people walking around all over the place. We have music playing. We had all sorts of performers all day today. We have a beer tent. We have 2 stages. We have a kids play area with like a bouncy house. We have sports going on. Over 100 vendors, exhibitors all over the park. It's been an amazing day, full of positive vibes. Of course, a few protesters, because you can just expect that at any gay event. Let's be honest, it's not a gay event without protesters. But we don't care about them. Everyone else is having a really good time. I say, if you're coming to a gay event and you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. I don't understand what you're even doing here.
Yeah, this is a celebration, isn't it, guys?
It's a fantabulous celebration.
We're all fantabulous. Yes. We're all here to celebrate our true selves.
Yeah.
Who we really are, right, Austin?
Absolutely. And the weather, I was a little nervous when I got up this morning, but it could not have turned out more perfect.
Oh my God, the sun is shining on the gay community and the trans community and all of us in the LGBTQ community, right?
Absolutely. And the allies.
Yes, thank you, allies. Love the allies.
Yes.
Absolutely, we love you. Okay, so let's just acknowledge some people today.
Yeah.
Right?
We can do that.
From AM 950, we have a host here from AM 950. She has a show called Food Freedom, yes. It's some sort of freedom, right? Yeah. And Laura is here. And Laura, did you want to come up and say something really quick?
Happy Pride.
Oh, she says Happy Pride. Let's give Laura a hand for her wonderful show, Food Freedom Radio. We all have to have natural foods and agriculture.
Amen.
And so we're going to talk about a little bit of some of the shows that we have coming up. We don't want to talk about, well, do we? Do you guys want to talk about Voldemort today at all? What do you think?
It's such a nice weekend.
I know.
Yes.
Does Trump have to be part of it?
I know. Okay, well, what I do want to talk about is I'm going to make sure I get this information right. Her name is Cobalt Sovereign. She was a trans teenager in a school here in Minnetonka, I believe. Am I correct?
Hopkins, yes.
Well, Hopkins High School it was. I think it wasn't in Minnetonka. Yeah. And she was assaulted just going to the bathroom. She's a trans young girl, teenager. And just to go to the bathroom, it's getting sick. It really, in Minnesota, which is supposed to be a very, LGBTQ friendly state. What do you guys think about that?
And we are. We are a very LGBTQIA plus friendly state in many ways. But I think that story, that situation just goes to show just how much more growth we need to go through, and how much more learning there is, and acceptance and understanding. Like Minnesota is a wonderful, beautiful, accepting place in so many ways, but it's not for everybody, right? There are many people. I mean, think about the people that we talk to, on a daily basis, the stories we hear, the things happening in our government system as well. Like, there's still a lot of work we need to do for everyone. And when you see stories like that, it just reminds us, like, hey, we can have an event like this, a beautiful event with thousands of people coming to celebrate our community and be here and be joyous and, share in love and acceptance, but then also be reminded that that's not everybody. That's not everyone's journey
Right.
that they're at.
We want to stand behind Cobalt. We do.
Absolutely.
We have to. We have to. We're all part of this community, the LGBTQ plus, right, guys?
Yeah.
We're not just
Yeah.
LG or how some people want to divide the community. We're not doing that,
No.
right? We're not
Yeah.
doing that.
Yep.
So we're here as a community, all of us, to celebrate our community and to stand behind Cobalt Sovereign. Did you want to say anything about that?
Yeah, I mean, and I think Matt hit the nail on the head in terms of Minnesota can be a really wonderful, accepting place, and in many ways safer for a lot of communities. With that said, it is certainly not 100% of the way there, and there are states where this stories about what has happened to Cobalt and others would never even be told. They would never receive attention. It's horrific what happened, but it's a good thing that we are in a place where there are protections in place, and it's one of the things that we see year after year after year, especially this time of year where legislative sessions are coming to an end. There were over 530 anti-LGBTQIA plus bills this year in the United States. Minnesota had 16, and they were all 18, and they were all
18,
shot
yeah.
down. All of them were defeated. Which is amazing.
Yes. They were all defeated.
And that
Absolutely.
doesn't happen everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's something that unfortunately there are still situations that are awful. But Minnesota is certainly come a lot farther than some places that we're seeing.
Yeah. And don't forget that Minneapolis St. Paul has AM 950, which is probably the only station, I want to say, that has 4 hours of LGBT-focused programming hosted by LGBT hosts,
Yeah.
right?
Including you. Including, but not especially you.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Little old you.
Little old me. Yeah, so make sure you tune in to AM 950 every day, especially for Laura's show and everybody else's. I'm going to try to name them because they all couldn't be here today. I was the only one that was able to. But so we have This Queer Book Saved My Life is hosted by JP Dirbago.
JP.
Yay, JP! Everybody clap
It's
to
a great
JP.
program.
Has anybody ever heard that show, This Queer Book Saved My Life? Oh my goodness. I was a
Great
guest
story.
on that
Yeah,
show.
you were.
Yeah. He, it's, in other words, it pairs the reader with the author. And he had me on, I read a book called The Homosexualization of America back in the 80s. I know I am that old, people, yes. Yes. I know I look beautiful for my age, right, guys?
do.
Oh, she's so cute. I love her. So,
Hey, I was around the 80s.
you were?
Yeah. I was born in 83.
I was
around.
alive in the 80s.
See?
Really?
Yeah.
See, I'm learning something. I thought they were so much younger than
Oh, my
me.
gosh.
Yeah, the homosexualization of America, right? So that was on This Queer Book. And they also have a show called The Gaily Show. Sounds like The Daily Show, but it starts with a
Yep.
G. Have you ever heard
I
that
have.
show?
Yeah.
Oh my
it's
God.
good.
They
It's
talk
good.
about entertainment in the LGBT community. So singers, dancers, plays, this, Then there's Pride Amplified, Twin Cities Pride Amplified, which is a show about Twin Cities Pride. And then there's a show called, what is it called? The Down something?
The Downright Upright.
Oh, that's,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Fantabulous show.
It's
I'm keeping that word today.
fantabulous.
Twice as nice.
You know what's fantabulous? Yeah, twice as nice. Yes. Okay, so we're not going to talk about any more negativity anymore. Not Voldemort. None. Not MTG. What's her name? MTG.
MTG.
Not monosodium glutamate.
No.
It's another it's a person, right?
I like MSG in food.
I do too.
Well, this is a person.
Yeah, we're not talking about that.
Yeah. So, everybody in the audience, I have a little surprise. If I can find it. Where's my little bag? Oh my goodness.
I think, did you hand the bag over?
Where's the bag?
You handed the bag over.
You mean the
We need the bag.
The LGBT bag? No, not that
No,
one.
not that one.
Yes.
We need the
Can
bag.
you bring it up to me, young lady?
delivery.
Yes, thank you. Special delivery. Yep. Oh my goodness! Another guest that was on my show. They're all coming up to the show and saying hello.
This is live recording. Things
This
happen
is live.
in these experiences.
See, you never know what's going to happen. Hold on, peeps.
We're not
Thank
having
you.
the bag delivered. So, what are your socks, Philip?
Oh, thank you, honey. Thank you for being on my show. Pat Shebek, he is the Reverend of the name of the church again is. It's Lutheran. Yeah, of course it's Lutheran. Has to be Lutheran. Yeah, my socks. Everybody like my
Prime
socks?
socks.
Yes,
Very nice.
they're beautiful. I got them online. Okay, so I made little gifts for my audience today. I got these little cups and I got stickers and they have my logo on it.
You got merch.
But
Merch.
yes, merch. So what's going to happen is my co-host Matt Amundson has a free mic. He's going to come into the audience, right?
Yep.
And we're going to ask a question. Austin will ask a question. I'll ask a question. And if you get it right, you win one of my lovely
Exciting.
prizes, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so while you're doing that, we'll continue, Austin and I. So what did you do today at Pride, Austin?
Well, we actually, my spouse and I had to run to the eye doctor. So we didn't get to spend a whole ton of time, which
Was this an emergency thing?
not an emergency, just long overdue.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and it happened to work out that we could get squeezed in today. But yeah, we got here. We actually, it was great. We ran into some friends that we didn't know were going to be here. So that's always exciting.
Okay, so my first question. Now, if you watch the show, you'll probably get these right, but some of them are going to be general questions, okay? So we'll start with, anybody want to raise their hand and try to answer a question?
Who wants the question?
Or he'll just come over to you.
Maybe
Don't all
maybe ask
jump
the
up at
question
once.
first, and then we'll see who has the answer.
Okay,
Try
let's
that.
do that. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, does anybody know what the famous word I say at the beginning of my show? We got somebody.
We got a hand. What's the famous word? Fantabulous.
Hey, there we go.
Fantabulous.
Good job.
We have a winner.
We have a winner. I'm going to toss this to you. Should I toss it?
How I can deliver? How about?
Deliver.
Matt can do questions and I can deliver if you want.
No, I love you. I want you near me. Okay.
Here.
Here you go.
Here, well, I can take the bag too.
Oh, yeah, take the bag.
Yeah. And the bag's coming right back to me.
Matt's taking the bag. He's holding the bag. Yeah, that's, yeah.
Matt's left holding the bag.
Left holding the bag. Yes.
Merch.
Okay. So, Austin, do you have a question? Anything you want to bring up? Or should I just throw something out there?
I thought we were so classic me, misunderstanding the assignment since childhood. I thought we were doing like fun, like what's your favorite food at Pride? Not like trivia.
Oh, and they'll get a, and they
So,
oh, we
okay.
could do that too if you want.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah, I guess my question would be: there are one of the greatest things I love. I'm not from Minnesota originally, but moving here, there are so many fantastic food trucks, just fusion food, and across the world that you can taste and try. I want to know. Somebody wants to answer what their favorite food truck is and why.
Favorite food.
Favorite food truck.
I know I can answer, but I don't think I should win merch for my own show, right? That seems weird.
No.
Yeah.
Come
But
on,
Philip, I
somebody-
do want one of these mugs. These are great.
Did anybody eat anything here today? No.
I did. That's why I have an answer.
I did too. Yeah, I ate something. Okay, let's try something else. Okay.
Hey, I will
Nate-
say that one of our sponsors today is Park Tavern. They have great food. So if you ever hit a Park Tavern
Yes.
in St. Louis Park, love Park Tavern. Get their
Absolutely,
pizza.
Park Tavern, yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yep. And if you listen to AM 950, you probably heard my voice. I advertise for the Roxy as well.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
Roxy.
Isn't that great? With
Yeah.
that red, with that, yeah, yes, with that little red stiletto heel. Have you heard me talk about that at all on my show or on everybody else's show?
And you know who's another great sponsor of Golden Valley Pride is AM 950. So thank you.
Yay!
is
Absolutely, absolutely.
That is
Okay.
true.
Progressive
So-
voice in Minnesota.
Can somebody? I have another question. Can somebody name one object on the new flag that Minnesota just came out with?
Good one. Good one.
The new flag. I heard
Raise your
somebody
hand,
doesn't
please.
like the new flag.
You got an answer.
Uh-oh.
Your star.
Yay! Woo!
Merch.
Good job, sir. Wonderful. You got the mug. I hope you like it. Every time you drink something, think of me. Okay.
Okay, so I heard this, so maybe, you know, we might have to fact check this, but isn't the stars meant to look like an M? Like all the corners meant to
Yes.
look like an
Is
M,
it?
like Minnesota?
Yeah.
Does anybody know about that?
Yes.
Like
No?
they designed it so it looks like M's.
Like an M,
Yeah.
like-
For Minnesota.
like Minnesota.
Yeah.
Or Minneapolis. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really simple, but there's like a lot of symbolism behind the new design, which I think is really kind of a neat.
Okay, I don't want to get negative, but
But here's the downright part.
the downright, then we'll end with the upright
Okay.
too, right? We were driving here, and over at some overpasses, we had some Voldemort supporters who were holding the old Minnesota flag. Over. Have you people seen that? What's up with that? What are they like berating Native Americans? Hello? What's up with that?
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it real. What
So
was-
now the Minnesota flag is too progressive?
yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, maybe. Anything that is including other people, they don't like that.
I love
At all.
inclusivity.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
I in DEI. It's important.
All right. Can anybody name how many people? Okay, well, I'll just ask the question and see if you know. I play songs a lot in my, my bumper music in my segments. You know that, right? Yay. So, name a song that I have played as bumper music in my show.
If you need a little help,
Does anybody
songs
need help?
are about love, mostly.
Usually.
Yep, usually about love.
And one was about breaking the law.
Yeah,
That was the only
that
one.
was the Voldemort.
That was the
And,
vote.
and we had the
episode.
weather.
What did we do?
We had the weather song.
The
The weather song.
Yeah.
Once you, we
Oh.
can tell you the answer right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I sang that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell the audience.
It was a
that,
banger.
it was a banger. When I lived in New York, I sang demos for this company. My voice sucks now, so don't ask me. I'll sing a little bit if you want, but.
Yes.
Twist your
And one
arm.
of the songs I did was Stormy. And the reason I sang it back then is because I liked the song and I thought it would be really great, in a dance version. But now you know Stormy. Everybody know who Stormy Daniels is? Nobody?
Not personally, they said, but yes.
Oh, not personally. Yeah. Do you know who she is? Wonderful person. Anyway, so I did. I played it as bumper music on one of my shows, right, Austin?
You did, and I really liked it, so I had to go online and find it.
And she didn't even know it was me.
It's a great song.
Yeah, it's a great
It is a
song.
great
Bob.
song.
Yeah. So does anybody have an answer to that question? What song do I play or songs do I play for bumper music?
Think of like classic songs.
Something that you
with
could
the word
like
love in it.
put a little, yeah.
Yeah. I'll give you a hint. Jackie DeShannon sang it.
Oh, you lost me. Remember 1983?
Well, yeah.
My
a
birth
lot of-
year.
these people are
Last
so
year.
young here. My goodness gracious. They probably. This was a 1960 something song. Yeah. All right. Put a little what in your blank? Somebody's saying something. Who
Yes.
said that?
Yes, I heard.
Okay,
Yeah,
there's the
Love in Your
winner. Put a
Heart.
little love in your heart
I
by
think they got it
Jackie.
at the same time.
You're
yeah,
welcome.
yeah, absolutely. All right. Austin, any other questions? Do we have any more merch?
We have 2 more pieces of merch.
2 more.
So the question I would have
Yeah.
is, right, music is a huge part of Pride, and I feel a huge part of our community in general. So, like, I know we all have probably a Pride anthem or a Pride playlist that we go to, but what's your, I want to know what your Pride anthem is.
Ooh.
That's a wonderful
Someone
one.
want to share their Pride anthem. I love that question.
Anybody? Hello.
Maybe.
Oh, we got a hand up.
We got one.
I heard somebody screaming. I hope if you're screaming, just raise your hand
It was
and then we'll
positive
come
screaming.
over to
No
you.
one's in trouble.
Oh,
Okay.
there's somebody over there. Oh, somebody
we'll
over
head
there.
back that way. Okay, we'll be over there too.
Yeah.
Okay, what is your Pride anthem?
Brandy Carlisle sings A Misfit Kid. So for those of you fans, you know that it is just about like being authentically yourself and like rubbing and being fine with being yourself and being different. And
Wow.
great song. Check it out.
Absolutely.
I love
Absolutely.
that.
Good job.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
100%.
Love being yourself. That's the best. We all should be.
This show is so different today. I talk about
I
current
forgot
events
to
and
give you your
things
merch.
like. Yeah, yeah.
I'll
Oh,
be
there's
back.
somebody else has a song back there. We'll wait.
They're making me
See
run.
if
What is your Pride anthem?
Soup for My Family by Pigeon Pit.
What is about that one that really is anthemic?
You heard that?
Honestly, it's really like anti-establishment, and I think that just really represents the queer space.
Oh, love that. Well, thanks for sharing. Wanna
Give her,
reach your
give
hand?
her a hand. I think that's the
Oh.
last merch we have.
I don't know if I can give away the bag.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Good job.
So
Oh,
I gotta know, Philip, what's your Pride anthem?
oh God, you know. Okay, being that I am old as the hills, back in the 70s, there was a group, I think you may have heard of them, I don't know, maybe you haven't, called the Village People. See, the older people are raising their hand. How many heard of the Village People? Okay, they were the first out gay group. Did you know that? Out. And they sang, all their hits were about our community. Well, they had a song called I Am What I Am. And it goes, I am what I am, and what I am, I'll be. Thank you. That's about all I'm going to sing. All right, so,
Oh, I need to hear Austin's Pride.
oh yeah, what's yours?
My Pride anthem is probably, the Fratellis, which are an alternative
Yeah.
rock group.
I've heard of them.
They covered Baccarat's "Yes Sir, I Can Boogie," and that's probably
Oh, my
Pride
God.
anthem. So yeah,
That's crazy.
Matt, do you have a?
You know what? Only because it's on my head. So earlier today, we had a wonderful performer named Jen Burley Benz. She performed. She was the first performer here
Love
today
her.
at the community stage. Love her. She's been on your show.
She's
Been
on my
your
show?
last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
So she performed a version of. Oh shoot! Now I can't remember the name of the song. It's the one that Kermit sings in the Muppet movie.
The Rainbow
The
Connection.
Rainbow Connection.
The Rainbow Connection. And I know it's not like hard, super gay, like, but it is. Listen to the lyrics. It's so beautiful.
It's a beautiful song.
Beautiful song.
Absolutely.
And it moved me today. So it was so wonderful, and I loved her version of it. So that's my new gay theme song, The
Dig
Rainbow
it.
Connection.
You got
Yeah.
me there.
Lovers, the dreamers, and me. La da da dee da da. Okay, I'll be.
Oh my God, you could sing. Yes.
Songs
wow.
in my head and in my heart.
This is the premiere of Matt singing a cappella. Yeah. Do you sing at all?
I do, but nobody wants to hear that right now.
False. I do.
So
If it
first
tells-
I was
No.
afraid. I was petrified.
It's gotta be karaoke. There's gotta be
Oh, you got that
alcohol
back room?
involved, and
Background
you know,
music.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Austin, before we did the show, she wanted me to talk about this. The importance of diversity, equity, inclusion in workspaces.
Yes,
Right?
absolutely.
How many of you out there, if you can hear me and the sound of my voice, can, have a very safe space at their job?
I do.
Wow, that's amazing.
Good, a lot of people.
Good for you guys. Awesome. Yeah. You want to talk about that issue?
Yeah, I think, well, I definitely want to hear from Austin, but I'm glad that you brought that up, Austin. That's such a really important question. And funny enough, I have a couple friends in the audience right now. We were talking about that issue earlier today. And it is really important, just the mental health aspect that comes with being accepted, being seen, being heard in a in your workplace environment, I cannot tell you how wonderful it has been for me in my current job, in my current role, where I feel like I can be my true authentic self, where I've shared parts of myself, like I share openly. I'm a gay man, and I share parts of my identity and my experience, and I never feel devalued. I never feel harmed. I never feel like that's held against me in any way, shape, or form. And there have been other jobs that I've had, in past lives, past careers that I've had where I didn't feel comfortable being myself because I was afraid of repercussions. I was afraid of how I'd be received, and not being supported by administration or by other people, above me, superiors, supervisors. And I cannot tell you how much that change in the support from my leaders has just made such an impact on me. And it makes me, even on like the hard days at work, I know that I have that support system. And for anyone, my friends, family who shared that they don't feel that way, and unfortunately I have many friends and family members and people I've talked to that don't feel that way, my heart just aches for them, and all I want to do is just say, find somewhere else.
Yeah.
Maybe the money's good or whatever, but you need to feel that sense of acceptance for yourself.
Yeah. Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Most of the places I've worked have not been remotely friendly or safe to come out at. But I actually have a good friend that was recently started a new job, and she was just telling me the other day that she was so blown away because she came into work and they had this huge pride display up, and everybody could put things on the wall about what
Wow.
they felt and their feelings and why do you love pride, like what does pride mean to you, and just it sounds like a small thing, but she was just totally knocked back being for the first time in a workplace that was so open and supportive, and knowing that your coworkers are accepting of you is a huge part of feeling safe in the workplace.
Yeah. Well, I told this story to my husband, so I'll have to tell you guys. One of my first jobs when I was in college, I worked for an elevator company. And they were very hyper-masculine men, repairing elevators, And they all complained to the supervisor that I was too gay.
Why is that a bad thing?
And I got
Sounds pretty good to me.
I got a pink slip, man. I got a pink slip. I got fired. Yep. And so I just want you to know that we've come a long way.
Yeah.
We really have. Today I work for a company that's very progressive, very embracing of who I am. So thank you,
Yay.
my company.
Love
And
that.
AM 950, I love you for doing this, for having 4 shows,
Yeah.
4 in a row, hosted by LGBT.
They're doing it, and it's not performative. It doesn't feel performative. It feels very supporting,
Yes.
very open. They want to hear voices from diverse communities, and
Yeah,
so to
yeah.
open the door to the
Yeah.
LGBTQIA plus community is just what we need.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
needs to be in more
Absolutely.
spaces. So
Yes.
way to go, AM 950.
Yes.
AM 9. Everybody give a hand to AM 950. Come on, you guys.
You think we're getting paid for this by all this AM
They
950?
love all of you out there. I mean, really. And they have these wonderful shows about entertaining and talking about our issues where you don't get anywhere else on any other radio station.
Well, and in a day and age when so much, whether it's radio or television or internet, is owned by major network conglomerations, it's really incredible to have such a diverse platform for voices in Minnesota that is independent.
Yeah. So a lot of people out here that are watching us now may not have watched or listened to our show. So let's talk about let's first talk about this co-host show where you guys come in. So when do we have the co-host show?
Well, maybe we need to back up a little farther. So 2 years ago this month is when you started this show, Philip.
Is
Yeah, it's the 2-year anniversary of this show. Yes, thank you. I do have to back up.
Yeah.
I stepped ahead. So
We're only here. Austin and I are here because of you, so we got to start with you.
Oh, well,
100%.
let me tell you, these two are the most amazing co-hosts I could ever have. They always have my back, and they're always contributing amazing information to the show, and we love them, right? Don't we love them, guys? Give them a hand. Yeah, my co-hosts are amazing. So I was always thinking, like, when I retire, what am I going to do? Like everybody's got a job, and then right now you're working and da. But what are you going to do when you retire? So I thought, I'd have a podcast, And so I started doing a podcast while I was working my other job, and the owner of AM 950, Chad Larson. Thank you, Chad. Love you out there. He's the owner of the station. The programming's amazing. Came up to me and said, you know what, Philip? I like your podcast. We'll put it under the umbrella of AM 950. And this past December, I don't know if many of you know, he called me into the office, said, Philip, I have a question. I said, okay, what's that? Would you mind if we put your show on the radio? Would I mind? Would I mind? I literally almost fell off the chair. I told you guys, right?
Yeah.
It was crazy. Yeah. So that's why it's on the radio along with the other 3 shows. And what was the next thing I was supposed to say? I'm getting caught up.
That's your history, kind of creating this, but you asked about how Austin and I sort of got involved. Right?
Yes. Why don't you talk about it then?
Austin, how about you start?
Well, and we should say too, right? So we have this co-host show that we do once a month.
Yes.
First Saturday of every month.
First Saturday of every month. But we also, so Philip, on the other Saturdays, you have a wide variety of guests.
Yes.
And I mean, it's everything from organizations that people should be aware of that impact probably a lot in your daily life to really fascinating people that are doing amazing things. It's just, it's all over the board that you talk to them. And
Thank you. Yeah.
you do really in-depth, I like your interviews.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you show up as your authentic self in these spaces, and I love that. I think that's what makes you such an engaging host.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Also, I think I got a card from someone who should be on your show, so we'll talk about that offline. I don't want to throw the name out there, because if it doesn't work out, then it's just a bummer.
Well, if any of you heard of
Someone today.
Meet Minneapolis, have you ever heard of that organization, Meet Minneapolis? It's
Yeah.
like an organization that very, very welcoming, very embracing of our community. If you're moving here, or if you're having a wedding, or you want to find out where the LGBT bars are, whatever the case may be, they are amazing. And one of their 2 of their representatives are going to be on the show next week, I believe. I hope it's next week. I hope I'm not lying to you. I think so. I can't believe that they're going to be on. It's amazing. And they are really, really amazing. So if you know anyone that's coming here that needs help about finding hotels that are LGBT friendly or anything, bars or entertainment, Meet Minneapolis.
Safe spaces.
Yeah, that's what it is. Absolutely. Yeah. So, so let's talk about the format now. That we can get back to that. So, obviously, the first Saturday of every month we do this. So we have a cute little banter that
Yes.
we have. It's really fun, you guys. You're going to love it. We joke around. But, of course, when we have to be serious, we are. Because we are living in serious times. And I want to just make sure that I get this message out. Everybody needs to vote. Because if we do not vote, this can end.
Amen.
I'm
And
just
it has
telling you.
never been easier to vote in the state of Minnesota. I know that is not the case across the country, but we are incredibly blessed in Minnesota to have safe and fair and free elections. We're so lucky.
Not rigged.
Not rigged.
elections.
Oh, God. How could they be rigged? Does he have proof?
No.
60,
Nope.
60 cases he brought up, but none of them. They threw, even Trump-appointed judges looked at him and go, there's nothing going on here. Sorry. Sucks to be you, I mean,
So
really.
since they're not rigged, we need you all to vote.
Yeah, go out and
Because
vote.
yes, we have beautiful spaces like this and places like this and radio shows like this so that we can have because our voices can be out there.
And bring, when you go vote, this is something I always say, make sure you bring people with. You know what I'm saying? Like, bring your friends, your auntie, whoever. The more the merrier, because if they don't know there's an election, some people just aren't politically geared. You know what I'm saying, Austin?
Very true. That is very true.
So, how many people do you usually bring with you to vote?
My spouse and I always go vote together. We make a plan to go vote, and
Oh, I
we
love
usually
that.
make a little day of it.
Yeah, make a little
Good.
party out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that idea. I want to have a voting party this year.
Yeah, maybe we
I
should.
love that idea.
Oh my
I-
God, let's
You
do
know, I
that.
did that in college. I remember doing that in college, actually, going with a bunch of friends. We went to a space, and that was such a fun experience. And I think otherwise, I voted with my mom a couple times, which is really fun to do with my mom. But I think usually I just vote by myself, and it's like, yeah, I get the job done, but it's a pretty important moment.
It
That's
is.
a nice
You know?
idea.
It is.
Yeah.
Having a voting party.
I
you
love
know?
that. But doesn't that sound
I'll
more fun
cater
anyway?
it if you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah,
I cook Italian food. You know that, right?
I do know that.
Yeah, I
I'm
make.
not surprised by that.
Well, I was born in Brooklyn. I'm Italian descent.
You give off such Swedish vibes.
Yeah, don't you know? Yeah. Did I do it good, everyone?
That was all right.
All right. I love the way you guys say, what is it?
Big.
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 Instead of bag. I say bag or bag, and you guys say
Big.
big. Yeah. Well, and the rest of the month, other than the first Saturday of every month, we have interviews.
Yep.
And we have very important politicians. I had Scott Dibble, Senator Dibble, on
Good.
my show.
Ruth Richardson.
Ruth, oh my God, Planned Parenthood. Women out there, trust me, they're coming for you too. Not just the LGBT community.
Yeah.
They're coming for your birth control now. They're coming for in vitro. They're right to women's health care, abortion. You just go down the list. They're coming for all of us because they don't like what we represent.
Again, go vote.
Yeah.
Again, go vote.
You had Kat Rohn from out front Minnesota.
Oh, my
Kat
God.
was great.
Clean Water Action.
Clean Water Action, Ivana Stark.
Yeah, it was a great interview.
Oh my God, I wish I could remember because this is going to be, like I said, this is the 2-year anniversary this month of the Downright Upright show. Oh, and you two, by the way, you neglected to say, were guests.
We started as guests.
We started as guests, yes.
They-
separately,
They started as guests.
respectively.
They
And
sat
after we-
across from me in the studio. We interviewed each other.
We apparently wowed you so much you asked us to be co-hosts. I don't know how we did it. We did okay
Am I
for
crazy?
ourselves.
Are these two people amazing? Come on, guys.
No,
Let's
they're
give a
applause
hand.
for us.
Oh my
Only take
God.
compliments.
I mean, I was told by someone in the studio, Philip, you're going to need 4 guests every month. This is 4 weeks usually in a month. And I said, oh, that's going to be hard. Maybe you should do 1 week where you have just banter, like talking about current events, because it's important, because we're a progressive radio station, obviously. AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota. And just have a talk show, a normal, forum where people can talk about current events. And these 2 wonderful humans were on my show individually and became my co-hosts because of their input. So thank you guys so much again. I know I keep fawning over you. Fawning.
I feel like we need to rewrite that into like a shorter Brady Bunch. Da, 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 da,
Da,
da,
da.
like
Here's
format.
the story of a lovely Austin. No, just kidding.
Sometimes I watch, like YouTube videos or TikTok or things like that, and I'm like, who has the time to put this stuff together? But the fact that you just threw that out there, Austin, someone might actually put that together.
Oh,
I hope it
absolutely.
happens.
Absolutely.
Yeah, people take the time.
Yeah.
We got to find the downright upright fangirls out there,
Yeah.
fangirls and fanboys.
I hope
Yeah.
that
The fan
you
people.
people that'll
people.
in the sound of my voice will get people to listen to the show, because I have a message. My message is to love each other. All my bumper music on my show is about love. Oh, and there's one of my producers in the audience. Let's give a hand to Patrick.
Patrick.
Oh my God, Patrick is here today
Patrick's
as well.
not liking the attention. Understandable.
Patrick doesn't like attention, but he deserves it because he's, he makes
Patrick's
us
great.
he makes us all look good, right?
Yeah,
does.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. I remember when we played I Fought the Law
Yes.
at the beginning when you know who was indicted. How many times? 34?
34 so far.
So far, yeah.
And counting.
Patrick chimed in. He goes, we said, I bet you know what this song is about. And Patrick goes, yeah, I think they already know. It was so funny. But, so, and the rest of the shows, again, we have interviews.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting people.
You have great conversations with interesting people, and that helps make the show engaging, and
Absolutely.
accessible.
Yeah.
And to talk about the things
Thank
that
you.
people care about or maybe aren't so sure about, but they get to hear about it. This is a great space for that.
Yeah. And it's not only all the time LGBTQ.
No.
We talk about progressive issues. Climate change, man. Like
DEI.
Yeah. And
yes,
honestly,
this is the DEI specialist
and
here.
at the same time, the 3 of us having voice as part of being in the LGBTQI plus spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that we have the opportunity to do that, I think taking a moment to reflect on that is it's really important and really wonderful.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel blessed that we get the chance to do that together.
Yeah.
100%.
And your DEI subjects are just so in depth, and I love them. You know, when you're talking about white privilege,
Yeah, we talk about like white privilege, dominant culture,
Dominant
characteristics,
culture,
implicit
yeah.
bias.
implicit bias.
Tough stuff, man. This DEI work is really tough and it's really important.
Yeah.
But I feel you approach it in a way that you unpack it with people that doesn't feel. I feel so often people, the minute that subject gets brought up, they just shrink back on themselves. But you present it in a way that's very non-intimidating. That I think people can feel they can maybe ease into it and not have.
I hope so. Yeah, because it's easy to put up defenses, right? And to put up walls and to say, well, that's not me, or to say this or that, or point fingers outward. But we always need to look within ourselves and recognize, well, even if we don't want to or don't mean it to be, we still contribute to the problem. I know I do. You know, we contribute to our own problems sometimes. And to recognize that, sometimes I make mistakes, that's part of the learning process, so it's okay.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you had mentioned one of the big no-nos of DEI that we fall into the trap of. Do you remember which one we talked about? There were quite a few, but this
Only one no-no? Oh, boy.
like one big one that most people fall into. Would you say?
Shoot, I don't know off the top of my head. But, I can tell you one thing that we should be doing
Yeah.
is reframing. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Think about the idea of reframing. If someone says something to the effect of, it's easy to fall down that negativity trap. Well, reframe to be like, well, what's the opportunity to learn from this? Or what's the opportunity of growth we can take away from this? And sometimes it sounds really like hooey and, like rainbows and sunshine, like the world is not all rainbows and sunshine. Sure, I get it, but can't it be? What if we reframed it and we can think a little bit more positively? That might actually help us accept the world a little bit more.
Someday
and allow
we'll
us-
find it.
The Rainbow Connection. Oh, my
here we go.
God. Thanks, Austin.
Was that
Yes.
Kermit saying that?
Yeah.
Originally. What's the problem? Maybe you people out there can answer this question because I can't. The problem with acknowledging that we exist in schools. What is the big deal that they don't want kids to know about, like a teacher has a gay spouse, for example? Right? What do you think that is their problem with that?
That's a complex question.
It is,
and I
very.
think
Very.
I think it's different.
Because it's really big now.
Or it's big, and I think it's different for different people, right? I think there are. Sometimes I think it's too easy for people to say the only reason people fear queerness is that they are queer themselves, and there's definitely that exists. That is totally real and valid.
Not always, but absolutely.
But it's not always, and you're right. And that's where, I think it's hard to peg to one reason why people fear that. And,
Yeah.
and in some cases, I think it's just fear of the unknown. In other cases, and I grew up in a very small, conservative, rural community, and I mean, stop sign on a blacktop, where, there are literally people that have this fear, religiously based fear, that that's going to be the end of their world if they are queer. And that's so sad for people that can't ever move beyond that or
Yeah.
move in a different way or recognize there are a lot of religious spaces that are very queer friendly that are out there. And I feel so sad for those people.
We had a pastor today, Stephanie Ludke. She was here. Oh, shoot, I can't remember the name of her church. She might be interesting to interview, actually, Philip, but she was blessing trans kids today, trans people today, blessing their names. It was a really beautiful, so she had
really?
to come up here on stage, and she asked people if they wanted to come up here, and that was such a beautiful sight to be able to offer that, and the message
Absolutely.
that she gave was, if someone is telling you that God hates you, they are wrong. God is love. You can't say God is love and say God is hate at the same time.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
form it in other ways. That doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense.
Right.
And you're right. I think you made a really great point, Austin, in just saying that, some of it just comes from, like I said, a sense of ignorance, right? Like, if I don't know any better, it's really scary for me to learn. Maybe it's something that it just scares me and I don't want to learn about it. Okay, well, that also is creating harm. You know, it's creating harm by pretending. Sometimes, I used to be a teacher, and a reality that I would tell my students a lot was sometimes learning is scary. Sometimes learning is uncomfortable. But if you're always staying in the safe zone, then you're just not going to learn.
Yeah.
And learning is important.
Yeah, so we're gonna we're getting almost towards the end of the show here. So remember, it's downright upright. So
Yes.
everybody knows we want to end the show with upright. So if you had to say one thing to lift everyone's spirits in this park right now, what would it be?
You are loved.
Oh, absolutely. All of you are loved, no matter who you are, who you identify with, who you love.
It might not feel that way all the time, but look around in this community, even just right here at Golden Valley Pride, you are loved. We are all here because of you.
Yes. And we're going to give them a hand.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You guys are amazing. What about you to uplift for the last few minutes of the show?
I don't know if I could top that.
I don't care how trite that sounds. That's
No,
right,
it's
right?
so
Like,
true. It's so true. And this is, my spouse and I have talked about this. Pride is our holiday. This is what we do. And it's the place we can come and be with our community and be loved. And it's Pride.
Yeah,
Be weird, be open, be whatever. It doesn't matter what it is, so long as you're you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And my uplifting thing is I just wish that I came of age now. Because when I came of age, it was terrible. I couldn't be myself at all. I lied to everybody. Where'd you go? If I snuck to the gay bar on the subway, I would say, oh, I went to a friend's house. Or, so I don't want that anymore. That's why voting is important. Remember, each and every one of you, get to the polls, door knock, text. What's the other one now? Phone bank.
You can text, you can phone bank. There are a billion ways to volunteer if you want to help out, regardless of what you feel you can do time-wise or financially. I guarantee there is a way for you to help. Pick an issue or an organization or a candidate. If you're not excited about a national candidate, pick a local candidate. They're the reason that those 18 anti-queer bills were defeated.
Absolutely.
And make sure they get reelected.
I'm not. Oh, I meant to take off my shirt. I have a. Okay, well, I'm not taking my whole shirt off, but my shirt underneath. It's Gay Minnesota.
Yeah,
Yes.
Gay Minnesota. 3
Okay,
minutes.
I'm glad I got
Okay.
it in right before the end.
So I am getting the clock. Oh, I also wanted to acknowledge my other producer here is Brett.
Brett.
Yeah, Brett is amazing. He's raising his hand. We love Brett. Let me tell you,
Fantastic.
AM 950 is just doing it. Doing the do, as we used to say.
And as you say, the only gig in town.
The only game, I say the only game in town.
The only game in
Yes.
town.
So thank you, AM 950. Thank you all for being here today.
So
Thank-
Dylan and Monica have been helping out all day here on this stage. Are wonderful. Thank you for them as well.
Yes.
Woohoo!
Love all the work they've been doing.
Congratulations.
It takes
Thank
a lot
you.
of work to put all this stuff together.
And what
A lot of
about
people.
Chris? Talk about Chris.
Yeah, so Christopher is our Gold Valley Pride president. Honestly, this is like his heart is in this space right now, and I can feel it. And I know he puts so much work, so much time, so much love into creating Golden Valley Pride.
Yes.
And now he gets to see the fruits of his labor here.
Yes.
I'm so happy.
Well-
I'm happy to see how happy he was today.
We love everybody here, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to hear bumper music in any minute now. So when we hear the bumper music, we're just
Start bumping.
Everybody get up and bump.
Yeah.
My theme music is amazing. I picked it out myself. I hope you like it. And happy Pride to all of you. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for being your authentic self. Don't let anybody tell you anything else. Just be yourself. That's what Pride is all about. So we're going to hear the bumper music. You can dance, sing, whatever you want to do. Thank you. This is Philip Anthony, the host of the Downright Upright show here at AM 950, the progressive voice of what, everybody? Minnesota! Thank you.